Okay, this this is the beginning of the canal wharf. So it's a bit of flooring, about 4 inches wide, about a metre long, to put up onto the layout. As I don't know what it is. It's about an inch thick, something like that, 22 millimetres, I think, which is just under, isn't it? So anyway, this is what we're going to start off with for the canal wharf. The side which is closest to us with the groove on it will be hidden. It will be hidden by, where are we? This piece of, well, it'll be longer than that obviously, but it was a little experiment I did, trying to make up a kind of like palings for the canal wharf. It's a bit of 1mm card with 2mm bits stuck on it, painted, and then some pastels just scraped onto it to look as if it's, you know, I know there's no high tide mark on canals, but you do get that line, don't you, along where the algae grows, and that's what that's meant to be. So that should go all along this groovy edge, alright, along there, then right the way to the end. Right, on top of the wood I'm cutting up, I'm just beginning to cut up these tarmac sheets from scale scenes. Okay, they came in the roads and pavements pack, so that's I've got three different ones there, so we'll cut those up, stick those on top, and then we better have some edging on the canal on the top, as it were, and so I have also downloaded the pavement bits from scale scenes, which I'll be cutting up and sticking along the edge. Okay, now the back edge, which is farthest away from the canal, because this edge which is closest to us is going to be the canal side. The other side there'll be a kind of a little, I don't know, a little slope, grassy mound, as it were, sloping down the other side. I might have a fence along the top. I might have a stone wall, which I've started making with some of that plaster of Paris and those horrible rubber, I don't like the feel of them, moulds. Those things, I'm just beginning to learn how to do that, so we don't get hundreds and thousands of air bubbles in it. So if they turn out alright, I might have that. There'll be the train track running, of course, along the whole length of that, on one side of the track, on one side of the wood, yeah. And then on the other side will be a kind of a roadway, some cranes perhaps to unload the canal barges into the trucks awaiting on the other side, hopefully. Well, we'll take you through it as we do it. Next step is cut at an angle, by the way, at that end, just to fit in with the other bits of raised track work which are around it. Okay. The first thing to do is to cut these sheets up, okay, and stick them onto the top. And then to cut up next, I'll cut up the 1mm thick card, glue all those little bits on. I don't know, I might pre-paint them, I'll see how it goes. Or I might stick them on and then paint them afterwards. Yeah. and then I'll have a look. I'll put the train track on top, see how wide that is. Before I do that, before I put the front bit on, the palings, I'll put the that bit, the pavement-y kind of stone things on. Where are we? Oh, that's better. Okay, I'll put those on first. So hide them down the side and then stick the paling to the front of them. Right, well, we'll get on with that when I've done a bit more. I'll show you. And is that one of my hairs? Blimey. I think that's one of my hairs there. On the, no, it's not. Something else, isn't it? That is certainly. Where are we? Oh yeah, that is certainly a bucket, which has been on the floor this last week, because it has been pouring in through the ceiling. The water, that is, when it's been raining. So as soon as we get rid of that, got a man coming to have a look at that next week, hopefully. As soon as we get rid of that, the better. Give us a bit more space. And it's the only place in the house that leaks, but for a house that's getting on for 200 or 300 years old, I don't think it's too bad. Don't bother about it anyway. There's bigger things to worry about, isn't there? And a bit of water. So anyway, we'll get on with this. I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you later. Yep, okay, true to my word. I'd completely forgotten, I must admit. I've done videos in between shooting the first one and shooting this bit. I completely forgot about this. So anyway, true to my word, I said I'd come back and show you, it's not the finished article, but how we're doing with it, okay? This is the wharf, okay, the canal wharf. Now, there's the narrowboat I've put there, sitting on those white blocks, because that's the height that it will actually be. That's the height of the water level. Let's put it that way, okay? So we've put the tarmac cover on the top of the wharf. We fitted the edging to the edge of the wharf, and we fitted the palings up and down the edge. They don't go right to the bottom, as you can see. They actually end at the height of the water, or that, more or less, that height. So that what I can do is these pieces of white polystyrene, I might use something else, but anyway, at the moment it's the white polystyrene. They'll actually snick just under the bottom of the palings with the covering on it. I think I might use just a paper that comes with the canal. I think it was the lock or the canal bridge. I can't remember which one it came with, but it's a rather nice greeny, grotty green piece of paper which you can varnish, make it look like water. Oh, there goes the phone. Anyway, that's it, finished. That was quick, wasn't it? Someone must have picked it up somewhere. So we've put the track on here, okay? As I say, the canal's going to be this side. All I've done is glued this paper on. I mean, as you can see, it'll be covered in coal and all sorts of muck, so you won't actually see very much of what's there at the moment. The other side of the train track, nothing's glued down as yet, so I think the track is actually going to run more or less there. We'll have some cranes. The other side will be a stone wall. We'll have a stone wall the other side, I think, and then it'll be going downhill because this sits about 1 inch above the baseboard. It'll be going down onto the grassy bit between here and the rest of the track. Okay, so we'll see you when we've got a little bit more to show. All right, bye for now. Thanks.